Not so long ago, I reviewed something with 8 strings. How about something with 8 arms? Hello again, it's got a ukulele review day as ever, with the summary video review to the full written review with the scores and the photographs and much more detail. That's always linked below these videos, along with some other links you may find of interest. Some thank yous there running across the bottom of the screen. If you saw my last video about donations and how the website works, you'll understand what those thanks are for. It really does help keep this site going. It's the only way the site can continue to exist without me losing my marriage. And why not think about subscribing to the YouTube channel? My subscriber count really should be higher than it is, considering the videos. All it takes, hit the little red button down there at the end as you're watching this video. If you're about to click like, click subscribe too, and if you hit the little bell symbol, you'll get notified about new stuff when it comes your way. Alright, this is a return to the website for this brand, and it's a return after quite some years. The last time I looked at a ukulele from this brand was in 2014, and it was a little soprano of theirs that scored really well for next to no money. And the reason I was really impressed with it was back then, at that time, the choice of quality instruments was much lower than it is now. I mean, you really didn't have much. And for beginner ukuleles, I could only really hang my hat on saying, have a look at the Macala Dolphin, and that was it, really, because if you weren't prepared to spend more money than that, I wouldn't have touched anything else. They were awful. And then this Octopus soprano came along, and sure, it was a really basic Chinese-made laminate instrument, very, very simple, very, very cheap. But what really impressed me about it, not only was how it sounded, but the attention to detail and quality control that they put into them. And that really did impress me. It's been a number of years coming, but they've put out a series of concert ukuleles, of which this is one. This is the sort of base level concert from them, the Octopus UK215C, this one in natural colour. They have some more serious concerts with solid tops and gloss finishes, but this is your entry level series, the 215 series, made by the same company, Octopus. Now, as I say, back then they had a bit of a stir with that soprano because there wasn't a lot of competition. There's an awful lot of competition now because Amazon is flooded with drop shipped straight from the factory, impossibly cheap ukuleles that come with all the kit that you could possibly imagine. That's who they're now competing with, so it's going to have to stand up. And at first glance, this is incredibly basic. This one also comes in a blue finish and a really nice looking sunburst finish as well. This one is just the plain natural, all laminate bodied instrument, solid single piece of laminate on the top, single piece laminate sides, single piece dead flat back, and the laminate is made from a wood called agathis. It's a cheap laminate wood, and I don't think they're trying to hide that, to be honest with you. Double bout shape, pretty standard looking little concert, really, really simple. What you will notice, really, really slim back and sides. Not a lot to the instrument at all, quite shallow in depth. It's not quite what I'd call a thin line, but it's a little skinny instrument. Remember, this is aimed at beginners and new players, so that's quite a good thing because it makes it less cumbersome to hold. It's comfortable in the arms, nice and simple. Other than that, moving on, we got a tie bar bridge made of walnut. Not a complaint because it's really tidy and not too big for the top at all. But what I will say is that if this is a beginner's instrument, would have been more sensible there to have a slot bridge, much easier to change strings than having to worry about a tie bar and those knots. But otherwise, I've got no complaints about it, and it's fitted with an ABS plastic straight-topped saddle. Looking inside, it's tidy. There is no kerfing on the edges at all, which tells me that the sides are probably quite thick. But let's see how it plays. The bracing is nice and thin, very thin in fact, and there is absolutely no mess. It's really tidy in there. The laminate's not too thick, and it's really tidy on the outside as well, which is finished in this open pore satin. There are no bare patches, there are no scratches, there are no pools, there's no overspray. I have seen much worse than this for considerably more money at the entry level end. It's really tidy down here. Yeah, really, really simple, really, really basic, but really tidy. The neck is made of a kume wood. It's got a really nice, pleasing, chunky heel there, and the reason I like that is that means that the joint here is going to be stronger than many, and it's not going to come apart. There are joints in it. There's 3 pieces. There's a heel joint and a joint halfway up the neck, but they're pretty hard to spot, to be honest. That's also finished in the same satin. It tapers expectedly to a kind of rounded profile, and only 35mm at the nut, 27 G2A. But remember again, beginner's instrument, not aimed at big 6'4" guys like me, aimed at kids, smaller hands than these shovels. That's going to be quite comfortable for them, a bit too narrow for me. Fingerboard topped with a nice dark walnut, which is in really good condition. No bare patches, scratches, tooling marks, really tidy and dark all over. Surprisingly, it's edge bound as well, so it hides the edges of the 18 frets with 14 to the body. No sharp edges at all, really nicely done neck, very, very tidy neck. Dots face out, pearly dots at 5, 7, 10 and 12. You also get them on the side, so there's another tick in the box there as well. Yeah, I like this apart from the width. One thing, I wondered whether it's an optical illusion, but it almost looks like there's a very slight radius on the frets. I can't believe there is. I think it's my eyes. But do tell me if you've got one and you think I might be right. Beyond the nut, and incidentally the setup on this one, QC's not let it down anywhere else. It doesn't let it down here. I'd probably take the saddle down a touch, but it's not unplayable. And the nut height is very good, in fact, very, very good. I wouldn't touch that at all. Beyond that is what they call their Octawave headstock. It's a bit of whimsy, isn't it? It's a bit of fun. So you've got the Octopus logo there, and the name, and the Octopus head. Is that what it's called on an octopus? Is that its head? It's kind of a bag of flesh, isn't it? That shapes the top of the headstock. The kids are going to love it. You know, yeah, whimsy, isn't it? I'm not going to say too much more about it. It's a bit of fun. What's wrong with it? It's tidy as well. The tuners, unbranded, open gears. The metalwork is good quality. They're not the most expensive, not high-end at all, in fact. And plastic front bushings, which I'm not usually a fan of, but I do like the contrast. And small black buttons, they work pretty well. They're all right. No complaints there, really. It comes, as you've probably seen from the swing tag, with a set of Aquila strings and a branded, more of a dust cover than a bag, but it's something to carry to school with, although no shoulder strap on it. And it comes in an RRP of about 35, but I'm seeing it in shops for 30 or less. So it's really, really cheap for a little concert. Yes, in a very congested marketplace, of course, I get that. So a lot to sort of consider against, but there we are. It's really nice and light. It's only 490 grams. As you can see, it's really nicely balanced. And we're going to have a play of it. So a tune up. I never think, you probably think you won't expect too much from a 30 quid concert, but I really did like the sound of the soprano from them, albeit that was some years ago. So the tone, the volume first of all. Yeah. No complaints with the volume. It's good. You're going to be heard. The sustain. There. There. Vibrating into my chest. Good. Good sustain. Not the best, not out the park, but it's alright actually. And that tone. Little one-dimensional, but not overly boxy and laminate sounding. That echoey sound you'll get with a lot of laminates. It's pretty pleasant. Are there better sounds that I've heard? At this price, probably not. Probably lots that are similar, but equally there are lots that are much worse. right. It's good, you know. It's 30 quid. Yet again, I'd be more than happy to recommend this to people. Yeah, there's an awful lot more out there, and sadly a lot of people will get their heads turned by going onto Amazon and saying, yeah, but for 30 quid I can get this Who Are They brand, because it comes with spare strings and picks and a capo and a rhythm ring and a strap and whatnot. Remember though, there is no such thing as a free lunch. You're paying for all that stuff somewhere. And in my experience, what you're paying for has gone out of the budget in replacement for quality control and checks. Okay, they sent me this one. I've got no doubt that they'll make sure that they send me one that was all right, and it is all right, but I am hearing other reviews from people saying that they're pretty decent. The Soprano was pretty decent, and I've seen a lot of those over the years, and they stayed pretty decent. No, I'm not getting ahead of myself. It's not high end, it's 30 quid, but honestly, I would rather save on the brand that gives you the strap and the tuner and have that money spent into quality control. The neck on this in particular is really nice. Narrower than I would like, but you know, edge bound, really tidy frets. There are no finished flaws, there are no build flaws. It sounds all right, you know. It's I'd have this as in my car myself or in my office or something like that, because it's completely inoffensive. And as I say, under 30 quid if you shop around. The other thing, these are not Amazon only. Actual bricks and mortar music shops are carrying them, and I think that counts for a lot too if you care about the future of our music business. So there we are, the Octopus UK215C in natural, also available in blue and sunburst, also available in higher specs with gloss, pickups, things like that. This is the entry level. Not a lot wrong with it for the money, to be honest. As you'll see from the scores, it does all right, particularly on value for money, because I can't fault it on value for money. Yeah, it's a nice one. I've enjoyed looking at this. Thanks to Octopus for sending this one over for me to have a look at. It's been a while. Nice to have you back on the site, and nice to see that you still understand the QC side of things. I will be back next week. Something really funky coming for you next week that I've been itching to review earlier than I could do. But it's next week and it's coming, and I'll see you soon. Go very carefully and take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye-bye.